Okay, we are going to look at the next step in Solview and Soldraw, which is the Soldraw function. So we're going to go back to the drawing. This is where we left it off last time. I'm going to go to Layers. I'm going to turn the viewports back on so that you can see each window. Now, you don't want to do your Soldraw yet. You need to make some changes to layers. So I'm going to go to Layers Properties. If you were to just do your Soldraw right now, it would look weird, and you want to be able to distinguish the different layers and the different line types. So right now, everything is white and continuous. So I'm going to click on ISO HID. I'm going to hold down the control button. I'm going to pick right side HID, section HID, top HID. You can click on the color swatch to change the color. Let's go with blue. Let's do green. And let's change the line type from continuous. And remember, if continuous is the only one that's showing up in select line type, you have to load those line types. So I click on anything, I type H to jump down to the hidden line types. I'm going to select hidden 2, which is 0.5. It's a little smaller. Click OK. Then you have to select it and click OK again. So that changed all the hidden types to a hidden 2 line type. Now, I'm also going to do the same thing with my dimension lines. ISO dim, hold down control, right side dim, section dim, top dim. I'm going to change that to red. It's really important that you distinguish your layers with different colors. Here's another example. When it created the viewports layer, it made it white and black. So it looks like layer 0 and depth points. So let's change it to magenta, something that really stands out. So if we close this, you can really easily tell, okay, that's a magenta line, so that must be my viewport layer. My title block is blue, has a blue border, so that must be my title block layer. Make sure that you save as you go. When you do Soldraw, there is a tendency for it to crash. So I do a save, and I type in SOLD, sold, which is short for Soldraw. Notice that it says select objects. Well, you can't pick the machine block that you created, but that's not the object that you're supposed to select when you're in Paperspace. Think about the logic. The only things in Paperspace are your drawing sheet and your viewports. So the only object you would grab is your viewports. And the easiest way is to left click and do a crossing window. So you grab all 4 of those, hit enter, and it's going to do this little dance. Boom. What just happened is Soldraw sketched over all of those views of the machine block. Put the hidden lines on the hidden line layer, put the visible lines on the visible line layer. We zoom in on hatch. Let's change the hatch color. So that's section hat. Click on the swatch. Let's make it magenta. It put the hatch on the hatch layer. So if I go back to model space, you can still see, here's your solid model. But if I go to wireframe, you can see all of this other stuff. It drew the section through the section lines. It drew the top plane, drew the front plane, drew the side plane. It even drew, if I isolate these layers right here, go to layer, isolate. This is the isometric view. So it took the angle that the machine block was at and traced over it in such a way that this is actually a flat image. You can see that. Let me turn off the grid, make it so it looks like it's an isometric solid, but it's actually a flat object. It also means that these are ellipses and not circles. So let's go back to unisolate, bring everything back, let's do a save, go back to layout. I'm going to do a zoom extent, and I'm going to turn off the viewport layer, and it looks like that. The next step is we need to add the hole that's at the front of this part. That would show up in the front elevation, but we don't have a front elevation, we have a section, so we're going to do a breakaway. I'll show you that in a separate step, and then we're going to dimension it. So that's all there is to this step. Make sure, again, that you save every step of the way. Make sure that you change your layer colors and line types before you do your Soldraw. If I had left the hidden line type layers with just a white and a solid line, it would be very difficult to distinguish between hidden lines and solid lines. That's all.